This video is for The Living Earth, Unit 1.2, Ecosystems. Today's essential question is, what external factors influence ecosystems? How do species, populations, communities, and entire ecosystems respond to these external factors? Our first main idea, succession. Succession. Succession may lead ecosystems to develop climax communities. Even climax communities are disrupted by external factors, however. External factors that influence ecosystems are called disturbances. Examples include forest fire, pollution, or other human activities, such as conversion of land to agriculture or urban use. This happens when the process, meaning disturbance, happens when the process of succession is interrupted, or a climax community, like the one shown on the screen here, is destroyed. The organisms within a disrupted community will respond to change. In the example of secondary succession on the screen here, the disruption is the fire. This may result in a change in the number of individuals in a population. Some species may die off from the entire ecosystem. Others may move to similar yet undisturbed areas. Some species are more sensitive than others to environmental change. These species are useful indicator species. They can be used to warn scientists that change is taking place. For example, some species are particularly sensitive to certain types of smoke pollution. Their disappearance or reduction in numbers can tell scientists the impact of that smoke pollution. Also, changing global climate can drive ecosystem disturbance. Animals and plants responding to a warming climate may move their range, as we can see with a particular bird on the screen here. They may need to extend their range to areas that were previously too cold for them. Animals may change their behavior, migrating to warmer areas earlier or leaving later. They may also even lengthen their breeding seasons in response to these changing temperatures. However, other species can have the reverse problem. For example, polar bears prey on seals that they hunt out on the Arctic Sea ice sheets. The bears, as a result of the lessening of the ice sheets, have had to turn to other food sources as warmer temperatures have reduced this ice. As you can see on the screen here, a polar bear taking a caribou, not its typical traditional diet. Some disturbances have severe negative consequences, whereas others actually improve the health of the environment and increase species diversity. A mature forest, like the one depicted on the screen here, represents a climax community. Right? A climax community is a self-sustaining community unless a disturbance occurs. So let's consider just the plants. Large trees are the dominant plant species, and the large canopy at the top of the forest blocks most of the light from reaching the understory and the forest floor, so smaller plants like young trees and shrubs are unable to thrive because obviously they need sunlight. So the forest floor is smothered with years of accumulated dead wood, branches, leaves, and cones, which provide abundant fuel for a fire. So, because of this, a forest fire would burn quickly through all of this material, including the mature trees. This scenario seems like an extreme disturbance, but the forest can quickly rebound. The soil, as long as the soil hasn't been washed away or sealed in like a layer, from lava or something like that, the burned organic matter will actually enrich the soil. And it opens up space needed for seeds to germinate and root into the ground. In fact, certain cones, like pine cones from certain pine trees, actually require the heat of a burn to release their seeds. Now, the burn canopy, because again, it burned away all the mature trees, the burn canopy no longer blocks the sunlight from reaching the forest floor. And so in this way, without the competition from the mature tree canopy that was once above the forest floor, new seedlings and saplings can grow into the young forest and replace those that were destroyed by the fire. And in this way, fire has enabled new life for the forest by the process of secondary succession. At this point, you should be able to construct a complete and appropriate response to today's essential question, which is a bit of a two-parter. What external factors influence ecosystems? So how do species, populations, communities, and entire ecosystems respond to these external factors?